Good afternoon. I'm Reggie McClendon, for those of you who have not met me. Um, the We do have some cases that we know are going to be requesting a deferral, case number 2 and case number 5. And so I'll just let you all know that since we didn't have a briefing, that the staff is not an objection to either of those deferral requests.
You said it was just five, number 5?
2 and 5.
Oh, 2 and 5. Okay. But 2 was already deferred to September, right? Per this.
Y'all have to defer it on the record technically,
Well,
but it is,
why does the agenda say deferral to September?
that's the request,
Oh, okay, so that's a request.
correct?
Got it. And is it a staff request or is it gonna be from the applicant?
I don't know if the applicant is going to be here. That's the Mansa project. We can make it a staff request if necessary, but we still have quite a bit of ways to go on that one before we can put it in front of the commission.
Okay, but in the other one will be from the applicant, the 5?
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Uh, I'll thank Ms. Washington for reminding me. I'll also make this quick announcement. We do have 2 new members seated today. Our clerk was supposed to be here to swear them in, but he ran into some issues. I do still think that he's on the way. So hopefully we can get them sworn in before the end of the night. But as far as the meeting itself, they can still participate, but they won't be voting tonight.
Thank you, Reggie. Okay, commissioners, are we ready? Okay, let's go. Mhm. Ready? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is August 19th, 2026, and it is 6:05 p.m. This is an 8-member board appointed by the City of South Fulton's Mayor and City Council to hold public hearings, make recommendations on rezoning, use permits, concurrent variance applications, comprehensive land use plans, maps, and amendments to the zoning resolution. The applicants and proponents of each case will be allowed a total of 10 minutes to present their case. Since the burden of proof is upon the applicants to convince the board that the application should be approved, they may choose to reserve some of that time for rebuttal. Following their proponent's presentation, any individuals in opposition will also have a total of 10 minutes to present their position. If multiple people will speak in opposition, you should organize yourselves as to allow everyone to speak in the 10-minute time frame. Opposition is not permitted rebuttal time. If you wish to address the commission on a case, you must fill out a comment card and indicate whether you are a proponent or an opponent of a case. If you are not sure whether you are a proponent or an opponent, you must fill out an opponent comment card. The commission will take 2 votes on each application. The first vote is on the findings of fact as presented by the staff. The second vote is for approval, denial, or deferral of the application. It is the second vote that determines the board's recommendation to the City Council. These same matters will be heard at the City Council at the public hearing on September 8th, 2026, and then finally voted on at the next City Council meeting. Please refrain from any verbal outbursts during the public hearing, and please only address the commission during the designated public comment time. We will proceed with the agenda. Staff, can you please call the roll?
Jackie Barrett Washington. Present. Erica Jones Thompson. Present. Trone Jefferson.
Present.
Stacy Williams.
Present.
Tamika Leverett.
Present.
Nicole Davis.
Present.
Mike Dunn.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you so much. We will now move on to the approval of the minutes from July 15th, 2026. Commissioners, I believe the minutes were not attached in the email, so I just want to give us a couple of minutes to review the minutes, the meeting minutes from the last meeting. Commissioners, have we had enough time to review the minutes now? Okay. So you've had a moment to review the minutes. If there are no corrections to the minutes from the July 15, 2026 meeting, is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from our July 15th Planning Commission meeting.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Jackie Barrett Washington,
Approve.
Trone Jefferson,
Approve.
Stacy Williams,
Yay.
Tamiko Leverett,
Aye.
and Mike Dunn.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. I don't see on the agenda the approval of the agenda for today, but we can go ahead and run through that as well. And I think that it just need to be added, probably going forward, because it's not on there. But everyone's had a moment to review the agenda. If there's no corrections to the agenda for today's August 19th meeting, is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Jackie Barrett Washington,
Aye.
Trone Jefferson,
Aye.
Stacy Williams,
Aye.
Tamiko Leverett,
Aye.
Mike Dunn.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. Now we will go ahead and move on to our first case of the evening, which is going to be Z26-013, and it was deferred from the June 17, 2026 Planning Commission meeting. Staff, can you please sound the staff report?
Thank you. Reggie McClendon, Managing Director of Community Development and Regulatory Affairs. I do want to say welcome to our new members of our Planning Commission, and hopefully before the end of the night, we'll give you all a chance to introduce yourselves. The first case is case Z26-013. This is a request by SDH Central Georgia, care of Battle Law. The request is to rezone from AG1 to CUP, Community Unit Plan. There is going to be a little bit of difference between what's on your agenda and what is on your staff report, because there was a new site plan presented on this case. Unfortunately, the agenda was published prior to the staff report being published, but the agenda reads 75 homes. Your staff report reads that they're looking to develop 72 single-family homes, some 25.5 acres. This is in Council District 4, and staff's recommendation is approval conditional.
Thank you so much, Reggie. Okay, and the applicant is present. How are you today?
Good evening, Michelle Battle with Battle Law. How are you all?
Good, thank you. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and open up the public hearing. Can you go ahead and start the clock?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So we are here representing Smith Douglas Homes this evening, and we are excited about the project that is proposed at 7,000 and 750 Bishop Road. If we can go to, is this my slide stuff? We can go to the next. We had sent over our, hold on one second, hold my time, please.
And Paul, yeah, thank you.
I was going to say, that doesn't look like my present. Hold on.
It's not moving.
Were y'all able to locate the presentation? Yes. Okay. Okay.
Got it.
Just say, turn the page. We're getting there. Yeah, that's it. Perfect. So I'll just say,
Can you reset her clock?
thank you.
Can you just set it back to 10 minutes so that since it never really started? Thank you.
Okay. And I'll just say next slide, and we'll work it out. Thanks. So the property is here off of Bishop Road. It's 7,750 Bishop Road. The property is currently zoned AG1, and we are seeking a rezoning to CUP, which you can see is directly surrounding the property that is directly across the street. If we can go to the next slide. We are in the suburban neighborhood character area, which allows up to no more than 3 units per acre. On the next slide, you will see our original site plan, which is what appears that may have been on the screen initially. That plan showed 75 units. There were a number of comments that we received, not only from the community, but also from staff with regards to that plan. That plan showed a 25-foot buffer along the northern boundary of the site. We had roughly 6 lots as you were coming into the site. We are abiding by the requirements with regards to all of the buffers along the frontage on Bishop Road, where we've got a 40-foot buffer. The site has 3 stormwater detention ponds throughout the site. Those are the little blocks that you see that are a little darker colored in. And then we also had a play area, male kiosk that was located off of the kind of the curve as you're going towards the back end of the community where we had our play area. And then we also are abutting the city of Fairburn, so we had a 100-foot buffer along that back perimeter. However, after comments that we received from staff and the community, we can go to the next slide, we made a number of changes to the site plan, and I'll go over those. Number one, we increased the buffer on the north side to 35 feet. We removed one of the units as you were coming into the subdivision, trying to reduce the number of lots that were adjacent to the existing residential lots. The lot immediately south of this site is actually an old dilapidated house on that, and it's a very large lot, so we weren't as concerned about that lot on that side, as it's owned by somebody that does not currently live within the city, but bottom line is it's not developed. But there is the Bishop Trace community on the other side, and so we were asked to reduce the number of lots that were abutting the homes on that side. So we relocated the play area to the other side, and we also thereby lost 3 lots on that side, I think 3 to 4 lots on that side of the property. So that is how we came to a reduction of the total density down to 72 lots. And now we have an average lot size of 8,475 square feet. So we've got, again, a reduction of the lots on the south side where we're adjacent to that community, that existing community. We also increased the buffers on the other side. And then we reduced the total number of lots on the site. We think this actually provides for a much better site plan, and we've got a 20-foot buffer that is around the play area as well as around the stream buffer, as well as around the stormwater detention ponds. All of them have a 20-foot landscape buffer around the perimeter, and there will also be fencing around the play area. And all of the detention ponds also have fencing around. We also have a walking trail, a mulch trail that goes on the north side along with the stream buffer there. I keep saying stream buffer, sorry, stormwater detention. And that mulch trail will allow for, exercise and things of that nature as people are walking within their community. There are sidewalks throughout the entire community as well, and we do still have the landscaping along the frontage. We do believe that we will need a decel lane, and we've got area to be able to put that decel lane as you're coming into the community. And then because we are actually adjacent to Fairburn, and there is a street, Silver Maple Trail is the street that we also are being required by staff to connect into. There had been some initial discussion about that being an emergency-only access point, but we were asked to make that a full access point. So we have the access on Bishop, and then we also have the access that connects into, because there was stub road on the other side, to Silver Maple Trail. With that, we can go to the next slide. Again, we are preserving quite a bit of green space on the site. I think it's roughly, I cannot see that up there right now, I think it's like 26% of the site versus the 15% that is required. And again, we are well below the 3 units per acre. That's, well, not well below, but we're about 2.83 at the density allowed on the site. We can go to the next slide. And one of the things that Smith Douglas really wanted to do with this particular community was to have a number of ranch homes. The feeling is that there are a lot of people that may live within the community, whether they be seniors or others who just want to live in a ranch-style home, to be able to have that option. A lot of the subdivisions that are being built now are primarily 2-story buildings. This will have an integration of both ranch and 2-story homes that will be offered within the community. All of them will have a mixture of textures, all of them fiber cementatious. Is that the right way to say that? Cementatious, whichever. All of them will have that kind of flavor to them with a mixture of brick, stone, board and batten, some fiber shake, as well as other textures with that mixture on the fronts of the buildings. If we can go to the next slide. And these are kind of illustrative of the 2-story units that we would build. Same type of material looks, and then we can just kind of go through the rest of those. And so you can see there will be a lot of options for individuals to come into the community. The pricing on those homes will be in the 350s. Right now, we're thinking 350s to 400s. We want them to be accessible to many of the residents, again, who may want to downsize from their homes. There are a lot of folks who may want to stay in the area, but don't need as large a footprint, and so that would be available for them. Also, first-time home buyers, also those who are just being very, tight with their coins these days because we don't know what the economy is doing. And so we feel like that offering in the range of the homes is appropriate. And we also know that as time passes, these homes would not be available until 2028, probably first quarter of 2028. So we don't know what the economy is going to do. But right now, it looks like prices keep going up. And so there's certainly that possibility as well. So we are very excited about the project. We're here to answer any questions you may have. We do have some representatives here with us from Smith Douglas, and we are happy to respond to any questions, and I'll save the rest of my time for rebuttal. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Do we have any cards?
Yes, we have one proponent speaker card, Gary Furrow. And we have,
Oh, okay.
okay, and we have 3 opponent speaker cards. They're Jared Redding, William Redding, and I'm sorry, I can't read this, but it's Good Game? Hillary Good Game. Okay.
Can you all come up to the podium in that order, please? Thank you.
Hello, I'm William Redding. I need some clarification, and also one thing they said they added another 10-foot buffer to the north side, which they really didn't. The distance from the lots to the adjacent property is the same. They just took some of the property that was around the retention pond and put that into the 10-foot added buffer. So our goal is to try to distance the adjacent homes from the new lots because we're used to living. I live on 40 acres across the street. We're used to living that way. We weren't aware of the meetings for the new future land use, so we didn't get to be involved in that. And that's behind us now. But we would like to see, if possible, some more distance from the existing homes in Bishop Place, and especially those 2 that are very close to the border that are only 35 foot to the border on the north side. And like I said, they didn't really add. If you look at the old plan, they didn't really add. They just took some of the property that was around the retention pond. And also I wanted to get clarification, like the property in between the Joy Sealy property and the lots, there's a 35-foot buffer, and then the lots, but then there's a triangle, a rectangle, and I think it says wooded. It's kind of hard to tell from the print. What exactly is that property? And the property around the outside of the landscape area around the retention ponds, how are those properties managed? Are they wild? Do they grow up? Which would be our preferences. Or are they maintained? It doesn't really say in here, especially the property, the triangle on the north side. And of course, it would be nice if there was less density. The subdivisions around us aren't quite this dense. But anyway, I'll be quiet and let somebody else have the floor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Who's the next person?
William Redding. Jared Redding.
Okay.
Hillary Good Game.
For time and and thank you for the floor. So I'm in total opposition to this, please.
Ma'am,
I think
can you
we'll-
please state your first and last
Thank you.
name?
The name is Hillary Goodgame.
Okay,
And I'm a
thank you.
resident on Bishop Road. My 12 acres directly abut the proposed property and the proposed development. I am adamantly, vehemently, did I say absolutely not in support of this. I think it has severe environmental impact. I am a farmer, and I'm adamantly against taking farmland out in a time when we have food shortages, when we have challenges to the food system, whether it's eggs, whether it's lettuce, whether it's meat. This is absolutely not well advised for our community. Fairburn is considered, South Fulton is considered a food desert, and this potentially has incredibly negative impacts. I do have a farm operation that, again, directly abuts this, and in terms of environmental impact, as you know, Georgia is on fire. There are floods all over the United States, and part of that is because of the diminishment of forestry, the abject effects of deforestation. It also has health impacts in terms of it's been shown over and over again through studies that the deforestation does increase adverse health effects such as increase in asthma, not only for our children but also for older people. And then also this road is the main access road to Creekside High School, and it's very usual to see young people walking across that road. Just in the several years that I've been there, there are residents who've been there for 20 years, 30 years. I've been there for approximately 5 years. It is very usual to see young people walking up and down that road, so it is in a severe increase in the traffic hazard that is being posed to our young people. And we have had hundreds, literally hundreds of new development houses placed at the intersection of Bishop up and down that road, as well as other roads that directly are connected to that. We cannot afford the traffic. We can barely get in and out of our homes at this time. So again, I just want to sum up and say that I am absolutely vehemently against this. I'm not understanding how you could put 75 homes on 24 acres when I have one home on 12 acres. So you're saying that's, if I did the math real quickly, ex-teacher here, ex-college professor, I'm guessing that's probably at least, what, I don't know, someone help me with the math here. But the bottom line is that it's too many homes on a small acreage. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, no other cards?
No other cards.
Okay, can you put 2 minutes and 28 seconds back on the clock for rebuttal, please? Thank you, sir. Okay.
Yes. In response to Mr. Redding, I wasn't sure where some of the things that he was pointing to. We did increase the buffer on the north side across the entire portion from 25 feet to 35 feet. I mean, we only have so much land. We didn't get extra land. We took that off of the land that we had, and that area will be maintained by the HOA and is not a part of any of the lots of the individuals that would own space on the property. We also have the buffer around the house that is fronting on Bishop Road. We also maintain that buffer. There's a little area between the buffer area, which is actually 40 feet around the back end of that, plus there's a strip that will be owned by the HOA as well. That will be a part of kind of the buffering against that particular piece of property. All of the detention ponds, again, will have the 20-foot landscape strip around them. They will have to do grading in order to get into there to put in the stormwater detention ponds. And then the fencing, we're required to have a 10-foot access area around the detention pond with fencing, and then you will have the landscaped area, which is also required, and then the balance of that should be able to remain, I guess, forested, for lack of a better way to describe it. What we know is that we still have to comply with the tree ordinance here in the city, and we will have the area in the back will also be forested and will not be disturbed. That's an undisturbed buffer on the back end. This area, while I certainly appreciate the fact that it is zoned agriculturally, there has been no interest for this property to be bought for any type of farmland. And so the owner of the property is seeking to sell. I believe it's from an estate, and these individuals are trying to sell this property. And so my clients obviously put it under contract, and they are seeking to rezone the property very similarly to projects that have also been in the area. There is one subdivision across the street that was recently developed based on an older zoning. Those lots are about 9,000 square feet. We really tried to move as close to that as possible, even though that was rezoned quite some time ago. But we are at 8,465 as indicated. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so the public hearing is now closed. Commissioners, we've heard from the applicant and we've heard from the proponents and the opponent. At this point, I will start off with Commissioner Jefferson, if you have any comments, since this is in District 4, and then I will go from my left to right.
Ms. Battle, just a couple of questions. I didn't hear anything about the square footage. What does the square footage start for these houses?
The homes, I believe, we indicated will be from, where'd they go? From roughly 15 to 2,500 square feet, depending
Okay.
upon whether it's a ranch or a two-story.
And during the public participation meeting, there were members posed based on the density, I think you went over there, but the infrastructure, capacity of schools, enrollment, property value, and development compatibility. Has any of that been addressed?
With regards to the roads, I mean, our responsibility is to connect. One of the things that kept coming up was about access into the property. Again, there was some discussion about not having the connection into the city of Fairburn. We believe that there are two access points that gives an alternative to traffic only coming in off of Bishop Road, unlike some of the other subdivisions. I know at our meeting, we just had a meeting this past Monday as well to go over the project, and there were some who
Is
said—
that in the new plan?
Yes, that is in the new plan, that connection. That there were some who said, you know, I would prefer for there only to be one way in and one way out. But those are the things that contribute to excessive traffic along streets, because all of the subdivisions are only coming out onto one street. And so we think that it is actually a benefit to have that secondary access point in order to help traffic, so that you don't have to have traffic only coming in from that one direction. And if something happens, emergency or otherwise, that people have another way to enter and exit out of the property. We will, as indicated, have that decel lane coming in, so that also helps pull traffic off and going into the subdivision, so that you're not holding up others. In terms of the environmental component, there's no streams or anything like that on the property. We will be abiding again by the tree preservation requirements from the city. When you're doing development of this nature, obviously, you're going to have to remove trees, and I can't do anything about displaced animals or things of that nature. But again, we are trying to develop homes in response to the city and the district's desire to increase density within District 4. So we are hopeful that, you know, this will be an area where others will be able to come and have a wonderful community to join and have the opportunity to be homeowners.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Dunn, do you have any comments or questions? Okay.
With the public participation, they had concerns about property values. How do the price point of this development fall in line with the property values around it?
So what we know is this. This is based on the information I've received from different appraisers. When they are appraising homes, they are appraising like kind. So the homes that are at higher price points that are within the general area will not be compared to these homes that are coming in. So when they're looking for comparables, these are not comparable to the homes that are in there. So from the perspective of, will this negatively impact the home values of the existing residents, we believe the answer to that is no, because when appraisers are coming out, they are looking for other homes that are like kind in order to compare against, to determine what the appraised value of the homes would be. this will be a quality community. We're not here to build a substandard community. We're here to build a quality community that meets the expectations of not only the city, but definitely the district commissioner. We have had conversations with Councilmember Sebastian. We've met with the staff. We believe that this will be a quality product and that the city will hold us accountable for that. So there should be no diminution in value to anyone around us because this community is coming in.
So my next question, why is the development not in like kind with the properties around it? Because $400,000 for a 1,500 square foot house, that's a lot of money for a little house.
Well, believe it or not, that's pretty much what you're getting throughout the metro Atlanta area. And part of the reason for that is housing costs. When we start putting on other additional requirements with regards to homes, the home prices, you know, I remember when I first got my home and I had a 2,500 square foot house in Stone Mountain, that house cost $100,000. But you can't build that house now for that amount of money. The homes that are coming in now for a starter home, we're at $350,000 to $400,000. The average person, particularly young people, I have my own kids who are literally living with me right now because they can't afford to go buy a home without being able to save up to be able to go and afford that home. And to buy that home, you have to be in six figures to be able to purchase that home. And so when we're talking about housing accessibility, then we also have to look at price points. Everyone, even those who are in some of the higher price homes within the community, some of those appreciated in value and some of those started out that value. So we are trying to provide homes that will also have an opportunity to appreciate in value. It may start at $400,000 now, but that doesn't mean in 2 or 3 years that that price won't be increasing, because we've seen that if anybody's gotten a property tax recently, everybody's property taxes, it seemed like, have gone up, and not by $2,000 or $3,000. So we know that home values are constantly increasing and pushing affordability further and further and further out for people who want to buy homes.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Dunn. Commissioner Davis, do you have any comments? No? Okay. Commissioner Leverett, do you have any comments today? I know you have some.
Yes, I do.
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty, so let's talk about the farm that is adjacent to the property.
Mm-hmm.
So are you saying that the land close to the farm is what is going to be undisturbed?
I'm saying that on the north side, I believe she's on the north side of the property, we have increased that buffer on that side so that she's not, the homes are not right up against her property, and that that buffer area will be maintained. It does have the mulch trail around the perimeter of that area where the detention pond lies at, but otherwise that area will not be, I don't want to say it won't be disturbed, because we obviously have to disturb it in order to put in the buffer, but otherwise it will remain kind of similar, you know, I don't want to call it pasture, but it will certainly not be occupied by people 24/7.
So you said the animals will be displaced when y'all do this. So what about the animals that are going to be on her farm? How are they going to be able to get a move to the nature?
Right. So I don't know a place in Atlanta that you can build where they're not deer or something that may be on the property. I know that they're not out, and in fact, I think she said that I don't want to say that she shoots deer, but I think that there are people who are hunters, let's just put it that way, and that they've gone hunting, I believe, on this property at various and sundry times. I can't account for the animals, is all I was saying. Where those animals will go, I cannot say where the animals will go. I suspect that they will move on to the next habitat that they can find. But we do know that on this property, we will have that 100-foot buffer along the back edge. And so to the extent that they can move into that location where they won't have disturbance, then we would expect that they would probably move along in that path. They may go to Fairburn. There may be greener pastures from that perspective. But we believe that I don't know that you could do any development, particularly within this area in District 4, where you've got a lot of undeveloped properties, that you're not going to have some displacement of the animals that are there.
In working with the community, did y'all discuss any type of nature preserve or any type of things to balance going straight from farmland into a bunch of houses? Did y'all try to work out what to do in the middle to help with the nature?
I'm not really sure what we could do. I mean, we also have to look at what the pricing is. Not only we're juggling the pricing of the land, but what it costs to actually build the homes, so that we have some balance there with regards to values of the folks who are coming in. We are preserving more land than what we were required to. We're only required to preserve 15% open space. We are at almost 30%. We're at roughly 26, I think, a little over 26%. So we are and did make an attempt to preserve more green space than what the city was requiring us to preserve. So that to us was our balancing.
Mm-hmm. So, for instance, if the animals end up more on her land, did y'all talk about maybe helping her with developing her farm or something so that it could
I don't think
help
that she
balance
wants
it?
to have her farm developed. Probably the most we would be able to do, maybe have some fencing along that back edge. That's something that, if we needed to have fencing, I think we could address that in order to ensure that the animals are not just coming across the property line.
All right. And then there was a concern about the 10-foot buffer being more taking away from the retention pond or something. So
the buffer, I'm not really sure what he was trying to indicate. What we did was I believe we reduced some of the lot size on there, and we smalled up the area where the walking trail and the detention pond is, so that we would have a pure 35-foot buffer on that side of the property, as opposed to the 25-foot that the city requires. So we actually exceeded what the city required by extending it another 10 feet.
So if I'm used to looking at farmland, and now am I going to be just looking at a wall of houses for the people that are already in that community?
I don't believe so. I do not believe so, no.
So is there going to be a tree barrier or something?
Yes, it has to be, it's a landscape.
gonna-
It's not
okay.
going to be just mowed down and they're just looking at, flat land. It has to maintain trees and additional landscaping along there. So yes, it will be a grown area.
And so in discussion with the children on the streets and everything,
We do have to put sidewalks along our frontage, and we also have sidewalks throughout the interior. And that's how sidewalks nowadays get built within areas, because the cities are not trying to come in and just have to put all the sidewalks in. So we will be putting our sidewalks in along Bishop Road.
Is it something going to be at the entrances so that cars are not like slamming on the brakes to notice the entrance to turn into?
Yes, that decel lane will be there.
Okay.
Do you yield, or you have some more questions?
No, I was checking my notes. That's what
Okay,
I'm
no, take
looking
your
to check
time.
my notes.
No worries.
Alrighty. Is the general contractor from this area? Where does the general contractor
Smith
come
Douglas
from?
is a national builder, so they don't live in this area per se. But I would say most of the folks that I represent that come and are building homes within the metro Atlanta area are not necessarily, we can't live in every area, because I get that question just about every area. Do the people that build the homes live in the area? I can't say that they do.
Do they use subcontractors from the city or from the area, local subcontractors?
I believe so. Well,
I'm wondering on job creation or small business support.
Definitely, we're actually we're a national home builder based.
Can you speak into the mic, sir?
Sorry.
It's okay.
We're a national home builder based out of Woodstock, Georgia, and for all of our projects in central Georgia, primarily all of them are from the metro Atlanta area. And so we do have a number of different contractors for all the trades, and they tend to be local.
I'm done.
Okay, thank you so much. Commissioner Williams?
Thank you for recognizing me. Okay, so I want to make sure that I don't ask any other questions that have been asked.
Yes, ma'am.
But first and foremost, what was the community meeting feedback? Because I'm looking in our notes, and I see that you had one, so this is great. I'm curious
We've
what
actually had
was-
3 community meetings, and I won't lie, particularly at one of the first ones, it was a lot of folks that were in opposition. I'm not going to, hide the ball. There's no ball to be hid. Development is always challenging. Change is challenging. And so, yes, we had folks, and I think that the comments that you all have seen in the minutes and notes are pretty accurate with regards to what the comments were from the community.
Okay, all right, perfect, thank you. All right, and some of the concerns that were addressed, if you could, is there something in particular that you recall that the community was really adamant about? That
The buffers were one issue.
Okay.
The density, while we could not drop the density in half or anything of that nature, it just does not, the numbers, as I say, it just doesn't pencil. We did drop 3 of the lots. Staff asked us to make some adjustments with the location adjacent to the communities that were already in existence. And so we did try to achieve that, and we think that we did successfully do that. That's how we ended up with a staff recommendation of support.
Thank you. All right, and being that the property is bordering Fairburn, how will this project be a good neighbor to Fairburn?
Well, we are abiding by the 100-foot buffer along the perimeter. That is a requirement of the city. The access point that we have, I don't believe that the city of South Fulton has to ask for any permission to connect into that street because it dead ends into the city. And so we are connecting into that street. We believe that having that access point is a benefit for the city of South Fulton. And, our intent is to, again, to just have a community that is aesthetically pleasing, that is well built, and that represents what the city of South Fulton stands for. And so to the extent that we are adjacent to the city of Fairburn, quite honestly, we were not thinking about their criteria. We were just thinking about what does the city of South Fulton want and how do you all carry yourself. Now, I do work in Fairburn. I don't think that this project, I'm doing one over there now, is any different than a project that I'm doing in the city of Fairburn right now in terms of even price point and look and feel, about the same.
Perfect, thank you. And speaking of being a good neighbor, communicating with the neighbor or that owner of the dilapidated property, did you comment on that? And maybe I missed that, other than
That landowner, I think they have tried to reach out to that landowner. We got no response. That property is a larger tract, and what we did find out was that they live in another part of Georgia. And that house, if you took a look at it, it is there's no one, it's not habitable. And I'm not sure what the city has done about the lack of habitability of that house, but it is not a habitable house. So we did try to track down that owner, but we were not successful in doing so.
Okay, and how close will the homes that, I guess, surround that property, how close will they be?
If you look on the site plan, I don't know if we can put that back up, but that particular piece of property almost comes down to, it actually does come down to where the playground area is located at.
Okay.
And that's why it has more homes that abut that particular piece of property. I believe that property is like 4 or 5 acres, but I mean, it's a fairly large piece of property. And so we're not up against that dilapidated house. That house is a little bit further to the front of that property and not close up against the buffer that we have. But we do have a 25-foot buffer on that side against that property.
Okay, so then, and you said that it's going to be close to the children's area, that amenities area, the playground.
So the playground area abuts up against one of the properties in the Bishop Trace community on that side. We were asked to remove homes so that there weren't so many homes abutting that particular property so that we could keep that a little bit more pristine. It will be maintained by the HOA. It will be a mandatory homeowners association with mandatory homeowners association dues.
Okay, all right, and just two other questions. Has the builder built anything else, any other properties here in South Fulton?
Yes, they have.
Okay, what properties?
It's a project off of Enon, and I believe Ms. Washington is extremely familiar with that project.
Okay,
And their desire is to do more in the city, so it's very important to them to maintain quality and to work with the community and work with the staff in the city to make sure that they are bringing a quality product here, because they do want to continue to build homes in this area.
okay, and last question. The package says flexible and creative concepts. Can you dive in a little bit more on that? Because I don't see anything flexible or creative as of yet.
Understood. Understood. We certainly feel that the project overall, in terms of the overall look and feel with the connectivity that we've already spoken about, again, sidewalks throughout, we've got a very nice play area on the south side of the property. We've got the walking trail. Those are all the types of things that we've seen that the city likes to see with regards to new subdivision development. I'm not sure beyond that what we could have done on this particular site, particularly based on the ability to develop it in a way that will be economically feasible. I mean, builders are not making, I know people think that a builder makes, half the money that's on the house, but their margins are actually fairly slim. So from that perspective, we are trying to make sure that we build a quality community and at the same time, one that, as they say, pencils out.
Okay, all right, and I believe that and thank you for all of this, and I understand that, facades, there's only so much that can be done, but to be in tandem with the community and to be a good neighbor, I don't see it being unreasonable for the facades, the look, the feel, the exteriors to mimic or even bring respect to the farmers and the surrounding area. Meaning, if that means the outside looks like or an ode to a farm home or a barn or something. I don't know if you know where I'm going with that, but
Yeah.
if we could, because once again, the package says flexible and creative. Sidewalks are mandatory. You got an HOA, so I understand that you would have a play area. Bigger lots, and I understand that that means walking trails, but I still don't see anything creative.
Understood.
Yeah. So if we could give something, and if I make a recommendation this evening, that is going to be one of the conditions that I would enter.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Thompson, do you have any comments?
I do actually. Good evening.
Good evening.
The subdivision that is across the street, what is the square footage of those houses on average?
I don't know if I know the square footage of the houses. I can only tell you that the minimum square footage of the lot is 9,000 square feet. I'm not sure if Gary or Walker, we don't know the square footage of those homes.
Okay, so what's the price point? Or you can give me bedrooms. I can take bedrooms and kind of put them in my head.
I didn't get into
Okay.
what their
Okay.
product is.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Washington, I recognize you. Or if you have any comments.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I heard a couple of things.
Come a little bit closer to the mic.
I heard a couple of things, and I do want to come back to one of the points that my fellow commissioner made in terms of maybe adding a condition. I heard mixed use of materials in construction.
Mixture of, yes, ma'am.
And I saw maybe a little bit of water table brick, and that's it. So there's nothing that's three-sided brick. There's nothing there.
That will be offered. There's no question that if a homeowner comes and says, I want an all brick front, and they want to pay for that all brick front, then that's what they will get. If they
All
want a
brick
three,
front or all brick three side?
if they wanted all four sides
Three-side.
brick, they would be happy to build them a four-sided brick
Okay.
home if that is what they
But
so
that's not the
desire.
initial offering. I mean, I can ask for it. and
Yes, you can ask
pay
for it, and that, yes.
But there's nothing in the models that gives me that option. I mean, that gives me a picture of what a three-sided brick home would look like at that, in this subdivision.
I'm Gary Furrow. The Smith Douglas model is to offer sort of a basic house with the ability to upgrade the exteriors, go from a gable roof to a hip roof. If you want to add a third, I mean, you could even add a third garage if you want to. The typical plan is we will give you some 200 different options that would go up as much as $90,000. So if you wanted four-sided brick or all, if you wanted to go with a modern farmhouse look, we typically have 14 to 20 elevations for each and every model of house we have. So it'll be appropriate for Thomaston, Georgia, or Woodstock, Georgia, or South Fulton. And really, the goal is to actually leave what the home looks like with the person who's going to live there. So we actually have a computer that we sit down with them and say, look, these are the various options. This is what it costs. You can choose it right now. If you want a 6 foot electric fireplace, and you want to go with an upgraded tile, or you want to go with a three-sided brick water table, and then just go with a plain shake kind of front look, we give them those options, and then we build them that house. And so that's primarily what we do is, and then we might build three to five models, and then people will come in and choose what their house looks like within the context of what the community allows us to do. So that's really how we design our houses. It's really a reflection of what people can afford and what they want. So, but that's just basically our philosophy for the entire company.
I also had a question about density. You indicated that, and I'm just looking at the front page, it says that you're 75 homes on plus or minus 25 acres. But I think in your comments, you indicated that you might be a little off of the 3 homes per acre.
Yeah, the 75 we're at 72 now, and I believe our density is at 2.83, I think it is.
So you're at 2.83 homes per acre.
Yes.
So that gives me a little bit of space, great. And I also heard the issue about flexibility, flexibility and creativity in the comments. But I know Smith Douglas to be a production home builder, so I don't know where this flexibility and creativity is coming from. Because basically the homes are 75 models in a computer, pick one, and we ship everything in, and we put the house up in 90 days, because that's what they're not custom home builders, they're production model builders.
They are not.
And so my concern is the model that they want to bring to South Fulton is a lot of production model at the $350,000 to maybe $400,000 range, plopped down in the middle of $500,000, $600,000, $800,000 homes, with the selling point that people may want to downsize, maybe. But I don't. We're still having a hard time getting used to that, bringing home prices down in a neighborhood that everything around it is of a higher value.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a comment, so it's not a
Understood.
question. Okay.
I took that as so. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Washington. Commissioner Leverett, I recognize you.
Yes. What I was trying to ask earlier, and with dealing with the farm and being a good neighbor, I didn't really hear any community engagement from an impact perspective of maybe have y'all offered to maybe work with supporting the community garden or help coordinating aquaponics or hydroponics or anything to just be to help the community offset that you are, destroying land and trees and farming space. Have any offset to that
No, ma'am.
occurred?
No, ma'am. I'm not really sure what we could do on that front. I mean, if the city has set up something for, a contribution or something of that nature, that's certainly something that, maybe the city would be considering for those that are developing in areas that have traditionally been agricultural. But to my knowledge, that has not been established. I'm not really sure how we would effectuate what you are suggesting. I'm not quite
So
sure.
I'm
how
not
we
saying
would go
from a
about
city
doing
perspective. I'm saying engaging with the community that you're trying to move into. Did the builder?
But I'm saying I
he's
don't know
here.
where we would, how we
Isn't he
would.
right there?
Yeah, I don't know how we would do that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not really sure how we would achieve that.
Talk to the neighbors.
You're asking us to put money into the
I'm asking,
adjacent
did y'all
property
have
owner's
that
property?
conversation?
No, we
with
did
them?
not.
All
That,
right.
that we would supplement what is happening on her farm. No, we did not have that conversation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I have a couple of questions, not for you, Ms. Battle. My questions are actually for staff. First question is for staff. I don't see this case on the June 17, 2026 agenda. It says on here it was deferred from that meeting, so I was just trying to figure out, was this a deferral in the past? Because I didn't see it on the last agenda.
Yeah,
Okay. For some reason,
I
I'm
think
not
it was
seeing it
deferred
on the-
for 60 days,
Okay, for 60 days?
if I remember correctly.
Okay, it just shows it was deferred on the agenda, so I'm just trying to understand where that was. Okay, so there may just need to be a correction to the agenda regarding this deferral because it wasn't on the last agenda for the last meeting. It may have been on another agenda, just FYI. My other question is for the site plans, how many, are they required to submit physical site plans to the department when they submit their applicants?
No, we don't have to. I'm assuming you're referring to like a full set of plans. Yeah, we don't require that until they make it to the land disturbance phase.
Okay, got it. And then my other question is, I saw in the staff report, one of the recommendations that you had put on here was for them to go with the amended site plan. I was just trying to figure out what the date of was that site, what date was on the site plan, because the site plan is so blurry, we can't see the physical details like that one on the screen.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to work with these site plans because there's a lot of information that's getting condensed down into a kind of a small area. Applicant might be able to tell us what the exact date is on that site plan.
Okay.
So along those same lines, ma'am, if I may.
Hold on, Commissioner Washington, 1 second.
I asked at the last meeting that when the staff has recommendations for approval, that we see that on the front page so that we're not having to flip through and try to read maps. It would just be easier for me if I know what the staff approval conditional means.
Oh, so yeah, so for our CUP zoning district, the way that our code is written is that the rezoning has to be conditioned to the site plan. So we always say approval conditional because the condition is the site plan itself. So if there are any additional conditions that you all would like to add, of course, you're free to make those recommendations. But if I'm answering or if I'm hearing your question correctly about what the conditions are, the condition is what you see in the site plan.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, I'm Reggie. Ms. Battle, what is the date of the amended site plan? Because I can't, it's blurred on ours. Okay.
What I can tell you is that is the site plan that we submitted to staff a few weeks ago, and so I don't know if we could do it based on the date that they received it, because we did submit that almost a month, about a month.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that when they do the
can't read
motion,
that. I'm not going to lie to you.
Can y'all zoom in on the screen at the bottom side where that logo is at the right-hand corner? It'll say the site plan date. Or you can just tell us if you see it on there, Barrett. On the site plan date, it's on the right-hand side at the very bottom.
Right under the the seal. It's right under the seal.
Right under the seal, yeah. We just want to make sure that whatever the motion is, that we're including that date in the motion, because we have a couple of site plans in our actual binder here. One was old and one was new.
Okay, he's looking.
Okay, thank you. What'd you say? What'd you say, Ms. Battle?
If it were moved for approval, that you could say that the date of the
Correct,
site
yes,
plan
that's
is-
that's what I'm asking for, yep. Because I just want to make sure, since we had a couple of them. Okay, and commissioners, while we're waiting for them to tell us the date, we're gonna vote on it shortly, but I also just wanted to just make a note to all the commissioners, just to make sure that we're sticking to the questions that are relevant to the land development. We want to actually talk about the case, which would be the land use issues. We want to stick to talk about clarifying facts of the case, consistency with the comp plan. So we want to try to avoid questions that are outside our scope of review as commissioners, because these make those questions that we're asking, they're really great questions that you guys are asking, but we want to make sure that we're not extending our meetings longer than needed, because some of the questions that we're asking are just not really relevant to what we do in our meetings. We want to allow council to be able to kind of talk through those things that they need to talk through, but we need to focus on here. Our meeting is strictly land development, so let's just stick to those points. And if we kind of veer off a little bit, you may hear me stop you at some point, but I just wanted to make that statement. Did we get the date? Oh, okay.
The other option would be the date we submitted it.
Okay.
Which would have been in July. We submitted
Okay.
the plan in July of 2026 that way. It's not the one. that-
Yeah, I think the April one, and that's the original one. Okay. So at this point, we've heard from the applicant, we've had our public hearing, and now it's time to take our vote. Commissioners, the first vote is going to be on staff's findings of fact. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the staff findings.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Jackie Barrett Washington,
Aye.
Trone Jefferson,
Aye.
Stacy Williams,
Nay.
Tamiko Leverett,
Nay.
Mike Dunn.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. Next, we are going to vote for approval or approval, deny, or deferral of the case. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve with conditions. Should I list those conditions?
Yep.
All right, I make a motion to approve case number Z26-013 with the conditions of adherence to the amended site plan from July 2026. Conditions also guaranteeing that there is a deceleration lane, that there are indeed walking trails, that there is a confirmed 40-foot buffer surrounding the retention pond. Additionally, amenities that complement the neighboring AG1 zoning. And lastly, exterior facades that reflect the neighboring AG1 properties.
Okay. When you say additional amenities, can you list those out so that, because council is not going to understand what that means?
The amenities would be the children's area, a viewing area such as a sitting area for adults, so that if they want to look at wildlife that may be still running. And I'll leave it there. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Were you guys able to take all those down? Are you guys write those down, or do you just hear back on the recording? Okay, cool. Just want to make sure because I know it was a few items. Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Jackie Barrett Washington,
Aye.
Trone Jefferson,
Aye.
Stacy Williams,
Aye.
Tamiko Leverett,
Nay.
Mike Dunn.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. So this will be heard. This case will be heard at the September 8th council meeting for a public hearing, and then it will be voted on at the council meeting after that. We will move on to our next case, and there is, it's Z25-022 / CV25-003. And it looks like there is going to be a possible staff deferral for this. Did the applicant show up today? Oh, you're here? Okay. How are you today, sir?
Good evening.
Good. And before we start, are you requesting a deferral, or are we opening? Are you wanting this case to be heard today?
Yes, we're requesting a deferral.
Okay, great.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, and Chief Barrett. I was a lawyer when you were the chief, and I'm honored to be here in your presence. So thank you for the opportunity to be here with you all. I am Hakeem Hilliard with Grubman Warner Berry Law Firm here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm here this evening on behalf of the applicant. The reason we're asking for a deferral, and if any of you all that have been following this matter, this is a significant project that's proposed on Old National Highway in an area across the street from where World Changes Church is. It's a significant project, and I think it's had several iterations over the years, and I became involved about a month ago. We had a community zoning information meeting, and then we had our own meeting that we hosted a few weeks ago. That meeting was largely to socialize people to the project generally. We didn't really have a good opportunity to talk about the land use issues in the plan. There are also some issues with the, because of the size of the project, it was reviewed by the Atlanta Regional Commission a couple of times. The first time it was reviewed, and it was reviewed a second time, and I'm still trying to sort through that. The ARC reviewed it as a 140-acre site. If you look in your materials, it says it's 66 acres. There's a stream that runs through the site. There's still an open question about whether that stream is a stream or isn't a stream, and whether we have to seek variances from the buffer. So these are material issues that impact how this site is going to be developed. And rather than bore you all with a plan that's probably going to change, we'd like to defer. In the spirit of full disclosure, since I've been involved, I understand the district commissioner has not really been engaged in a meaningful way. And I always like to come in front of these boards with a good sense of what the community feels and have a real good indication of how the commissioner feels about a project, so that we can make sure that we're framing what we propose through a lens that has the view of the community and the commissioner who's charged with kind of being the eyes and ears of the community. So that's the reason why we're asking for a deferral. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have about the project now that I can, but otherwise we request that you support a deferral for us.
Thank you so much. So it looks like you're requesting deferral for the September meeting, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is that enough time for you to sort through the items that you need to sort through?
My client has asked for a 30-day deferral.
Okay. Okay. Cool. That works for us. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like that would be the September 16, 2026 meeting. You can take a seat, sir. I appreciate you. So at this time, the applicant has requested a deferral for Z25-022 / CV25-003. We will not have a public hearing for this today. Is there a motion on the floor for a deferral?
I'll move to defer.
Can you please state the date?
I'm sorry, move to defer to a September 16th meeting, is that the date?
16th, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, September 16th meeting.
Okay, is there a second?
A second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Jackie Barrett Washington.
Aye.
Trone Jefferson.
Aye.
Stacy Williams.
Aye.
Tamiko Leverett.
Aye.
Mike Dunn.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. So this case will be deferred to the September 16, 2026 Planning Commission meeting, and we will move on to our next case, which is Z26-011. Yep, staff, can you please sign the report?
Thank you. This is Z26-011. So this is actually a case that you all have heard before and voted on before. This is Ms. Diane Lloyd seeking to rezone from R6 to AG1. When this came before you, I think last month or the month before, it was a request to go from R6 to R6 and remove some conditions that were on the property. At that time, you all voted to approve, to recommend approval to rezone to AG1, and you all asked the question and were given the advice that it was okay to do that. We reviewed that, and we kind of decided that in order to ensure that we are operating within the bounds of the zoning procedures law, that we wanted to go out and re-advertise that case so that we can say that that property is going to AG1 and make sure that the community was aware of what that new zoning district would be. So we re-advertised it, meaning we had to come back here to the Planning Commission. And so hoping that we can move this one kind of quickly because you've already heard it. But again, this is a request to go from R6 to AG1.
Thank you so much. So at this point, we need to do, Reggie, we still need to do the public hearing again and all that stuff. Okay. Okay. So Z26-011. Okay. Is the applicant present? Okay. Want to come on up to the podium? One moment, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Clarification now, one says District 4 and the other one says District 5. What district is this in? The agenda says 5, but the printout says 4.
This is District 4.
Thank you so much. So, Barrett, this will be, the agenda will need to be adjusted for item number 3. District is incorrect. It should be District 4. Okay. Okay. If you can state your first and last name for the record. Thank you so much.
My name is Diane Lloyd.
Miss Diane, one moment. Barrett, can you start that clock over? Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Okay. Again, my name is Diane Lloyd, and as the staff has said, I'm just simply going from R6 to AG1 zoning per the recommendations from the last planning hearing that I attended, and that's it. I don't know if anybody has any questions or any comments.
Thank you so much. You can take a seat. Are there any cards?
There are no cards. We don't even have the applicant's card. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So at this time, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Commissioners, do you have any questions for the staff or the applicant?
I do, ma'am.
Okay. Commissioner Washington, I recognize you.
Thank you. I'm just looking through the notebook. The picture that's for that you used for this application is the same picture that you used for the previous case that we just heard. Is there a reason for that?
I think what you're probably looking at is a picture that comes from our comprehensive plan.
Stock.
Yeah, it's a stock photo. What we do is we take the description of the future land use category that's in our comprehensive plan, and we kind of just place that in the staff report. And it's more so for the language than it is for the picture.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reggie. Commissioners, are there any other questions for the applicant? No? Hearing there are no other questions or comments for the applicant or staff, we can go ahead and move on to the vote. The first vote is going to be on the findings of fact as presented by staff. Can you please call the roll?
Jackie Barrett Washington.
Aye.
Trone Jefferson.
Aye.
Stacy Williams.
Aye.
Tamiko Leverett.
Aye.
Mike Dunn.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you so much. And now we are going to vote for approval, denial, or deferral of the two cases. I'm sorry, for Z26-011, I was on the wrong one. For Z26-011, is there a motion for approval, denial, or deferral?
I motion to approve Z26-001.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Jackie Barrett Washington.
Aye.
Trone Jefferson.
Aye.
Stacy Williams.
Aye.
Tamiko Leverett.
Aye.
Mike Dunn.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you so much. So that case will be heard at the September 8th council meeting, which will be the public hearing. Okay, we will move on to our next case, which is going to be Z26-018. Staff, can you please sound the report?
Thank you. Case Z26-018 is a request by Dwayne Parrish to go from the OI Office Institutional District to the C1 Limited Commercial Zoning District. This is in the Old National Overlay. This request is the...
That's Z26-18. We're doing 17 right now.
Nope, I think we're doing 18.
So our agenda number 4 is 18.
My apologies.
No worries.
So this is to operate a restaurant and lounge. This property is on 1.03 acres. It is in City Council District 5. Staff's recommendation is approval.
Thank you so much, Reggie. Is the applicant present? Okay. If you could just state your first and last name for the record.
Oh, good evening. My name is Wayne Parrish, and we just purchased this building a few months ago, and we're seeking to do a restaurant rooftop and lounge. We did.
Excuse me, sir. One moment. Can you start the clock? Thank you. You can go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. So we just we did a public participation meeting, and we did very well on that. And all we're looking to seek is a rezoning for this location.
Speak a little closer to the mic. Yes, thank you.
So we're seeking the rezone this location for a rooftop restaurant and lounge to give Old National, which are our neighbors, we're seeking to give them a experience, which it looks like is well needed on Old National. So, and that's, if anybody got any questions.
Okay, thank you, sir. You can take a seat.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any cards? And I forgot to say that we're in a public hearing, so, but yeah, we're in a public hearing. Pause the clock.
We have a card from Ashley Cutting,
Is that
a proponent.
proponent? Okay. Are there any other cards?
No more cards.
Okay. So at this time, we will go ahead and close the public hearing. Commissioners, do you have any questions for the applicant or staff at this time? Okay. Let's see, this is District 5. Okay, yeah, it's your district. Okay. Commissioner Williams, I recognize you.
Thank you. Okay, you can come up to the podium. All right. And it's Mr. Parrish, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for coming this evening. First question for you. Thank you for wanting to do business here in South Fulton, of course. Are you originally from South Fulton?
No, actually, I'm from South Florida.
South Florida? Okay,
Yes.
okay. And the project that you are intending to do, you said rooftop.
Yes,
Okay.
rooftop, restaurant and lounge.
Restaurant and lounge, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, when we're looking at the operating hours, right? You're right on the corner. Is this an old bank?
Yeah, this used to be the bank, yeah.
Okay, okay. And how do you propose, well, first of all, let me back up, I'm sorry. Have you spoke with your council person in regards to this project?
Yes.
Okay, okay, all right. And when we look at the bank itself, how do you suggest parking? Or do you think you have enough parking? Do we need to
Oh, yes.
entertain?
Well, we hired Mr. Boyer, which I believe he developed the Atlanta skyline. And he did propose that for every 1,000 square foot, he gave you, he allowed 10 parkings. So which is, I believe we cut it down to 5,000 square foot. So that would have been like 52 parking spaces, which we already sitting on like an acre.5. So that site plan should show the perimeter with all 52 parking spaces.
So only
as well as
52 parking
landscape.
spaces?
Yes, it's 52 parking spaces.
Okay. And so you're going to be a restaurant and a lounge?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Seeking.
Okay, so what about any overflow parking? Do you have any ideas or
We
concepts that
have
you can do?
on the north side, there is some overflow on the back side. And recently, being that it's a vault in the bank, I was telling him the other day, which we're probably gonna shave it down another 5 seating to 6 seating because the vault isn't giving us any like frequency in there. And we was gonna turn that into an office. So now we're gonna eliminate the office space and probably seek the other side, which we're gonna eliminate like 6 more seating. So we're probably gonna have over enough parking.
And you don't have any renderings, right?
Yes, all the renderings, the site plan is should be uploaded.
But no conceptual renderings?
That's what they're working on now.
Okay, okay, because I'm just concerned that if we're here today looking at rezoning, and we're talking about a restaurant and lounge, especially with those two concepts, right? Because a restaurant typically would close at maybe like 10 o'clock, staff is out by midnight, right? But a lounge, that might be later hours. So therefore, if you have 25 people dining, I just wonder about some of the
overflow.
Right, some of the conditions here. And your rooftop, you've mentioned, so you don't have any conceptual designs, I guess is what I'm asking.
Also, we didn't, and I believe we did upload a site plan with the actual picture of it. It should be in there. I didn't.
So what for clarity, what she's asking for though, she just wants to see like a real visual of, that's what you're working on still, right?
Right.
Okay, but we do have the site
We'll
plan.
have one by September 8th.
Okay. We do have a copy of the site plan though.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll yield for now.
Okay. Okay. Commissioner Dunn, do you have any questions or comments?
Do you have like a general idea of what your operating hours would be and the type of cuisine that you're gonna specialize in?
From 7 to 3.
7 p.m. to 3 a.m.?
Because we're gonna do the breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yes.
Okay.
3 a.m.
3 a.m. Okay, gotcha. That's it.
Okay. And Commissioners, again, I want to restate, we want to stick to the facts of the case. We don't want to get into the weeds of other things that don't have anything to do with the case. So when it comes to operating hours and what they're going to be serving and if they have overflow parking, those things are really not relevant right now because as of per the case, they're already meeting the parking requirements. They're meeting what they need to meet right now. So we want to generally just stick to if we have any issues with what's in the site plan or what staff is saying in the staff report, something dealing with the comp plan, we want to stick to that. We don't want to veer off into other things that really have nothing to do with what we deal with on this board. Commissioner Davis, do you have any comments? Okay. Commissioner Leverett, do you have any comments? Okay. Commissioner Jefferson, do you have any comments? Commissioner Thompson, do you have any comments?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Commissioner Washington, do you have any comments?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. You can take a seat, sir.
Appreciate you.
So at this time, we've heard from the applicant. We've read staff report. We have a site plan in front of us. Applicant said they will have a concept probably in like another month. However, that does not limit us from voting on this case tonight. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and take our first vote, but we do need to close the public hearing. Will you stop that clock too? We're going to go ahead and take our first vote, which is going to be on staff's findings of fact. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve staff findings facts.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Jackie Barrett Washington,
Aye.
Trone Jefferson,
Aye.
Stacy Williams,
Aye.
Tamiko Leverett,
Aye.
Mike Dunn.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you so much. Now we will vote on approval, denial, or deferral of this case. Is there a motion?
I motion to approve Z26-018.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Jackie Barrett Washington,
Aye.
Trone Jefferson,
Aye.
Stacy Williams,
Aye.
Tamiko Leverett,
Aye.
Mike Dunn.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. And this will be heard at the September 8th council meeting for the public hearing, and then it will be voted on at the next council meeting after that. We will move on to our next case, which is going to be Z26-019/U26-009. Staff, can you please sound the report?
Thank you. This is a request to go from C1 to C2 for the development of a gas station and quick service restaurant. This is the case that I mentioned earlier. The applicant is here and will be requesting a deferral.
Thank you so much. Is the applicant present?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening. Can you please state your first and last name for the
My
record?
name is Nazar Alibai. We are requesting to rezone from C1 to C2 in order to permit the development of a gas station as well as 2 end caps that will be for a restaurant space. We request a deferral because although we have addressed all of the issues regarding the staff recommendations, we were not able to communicate in time for this meeting, so we asked for a deferral so we're able to give you guys the right communication and the right site plan in order to make sure that we hit all of the requirements for the city of South Fulton.
Okay, thank you so much. And what meeting date were you looking to defer? How many?
I believe the next meeting, which is September 18th, if
Okay.
I'm not mistaken.
September 16th.
16th, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I appreciate you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You can
Thank
take
you.
a seat. Okay, so at this time, the applicant has requested a deferral for the September 16th, 2026 meeting, which is a 30-day deferral. At this time, is there a motion on the floor for approval or denial of the deferral?
Make a motion to approve the deferral for case Z26-019.
Second.
Okay, and just for clarification, guys, we do need to do this separate. I didn't realize it was 2 cases up here when I initially said the initial when I requested the initial motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Jackie Barrett Washington,
Aye.
Trone Jefferson,
Aye.
Stacy Williams,
Aye.
Tamika Leverett,
Aye.
Mike Dunn.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you so much. And now we will take a vote for U26-009, which is a request of a deferral. Is there a motion on the floor for approval or denial of the deferral?
Make a motion to approve the deferral for case U26-009.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Jackie Barrett Washington,
Aye.
Trone Jefferson,
Aye.
Stacy Williams,
Aye.
Tamiko Leverett,
Aye.
Mike Dunn.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. So this case will be, both of these cases will be heard at the next Planning Commission meeting, which is going to be on September 16th, 2026. At this moment, we are going to take a 5-minute break, and we will come back at 7:45. Thank you. Okay, so we are back and it is 7:45. Okay, so we are moving on to case Z26-017. Staff, can you please sound the report?
Thank you. Case Z 26-017, 2300 Flat Shoals Road. This is a request by YHM3 LLC to go from AG1 to R6, two-family dwelling district, and also a future land use amendment from community live work to suburban 2 neighborhood to permit the use of a duplex structure. The property is on 2 acres of land. This is in Council District 6. Staff's recommendation is denial.
Thank you so much, Reggie. Is the applicant present today? Okay. And if you can just state your first and last name for the record.
My name is Yerocham Libzik. You can call me Dove because my hard name.
Thank you so much. You can go ahead and proceed with your presentation.
Yeah, so I don't really have presentation so much as to explanation on my part. This is a house we bought probably in 2021. I hired a contractor. This is a majority of my fault. We hired a contractor to do the proper applications for zoning as well as building permits and so on and so forth. He told us he did all the proper work, and I think I supplied to everybody the payments I paid, the invoices for the permitting and for the zoning. This is when I was starting out doing a little bit of real estate investing, and I didn't know what I was doing, quite honestly. And we got certain permits we got approved, some of them didn't. Clearly, the zoning wasn't done at the time. And now fast forward, about 6 months ago, I get a knock on the door from code enforcement saying, hey, your duplex is not zoned properly. All the work was completed. All the single-family house was turned into a duplex. And I'm getting knocked now 4 years later saying this property is no longer, you don't have the correct zoning for this. And that's when I came here and I basically put an application to correct this issue that I did in the past of getting the proper zoning so we could go move forward and be within compliance with the city and in compliance with the correct zoning. I saw the staff recommendation and I appreciate it. I would like to push back a little bit is we are not doing any work over here. We're not doing anything. We're not changing anything. What I'm requesting is to keep it as is. The reality is if I get denied, it's probably going to have to be turned back into a single-family residence. That's the only answer I have for that. So I think that's where I have it, and that's kind of where my situation is. And I do apologize for not recognizing this sooner, and I'm trying to rectify a previous mistake. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You can take a seat, sir. Okay. Are there any cards?
There are no cards except for the speakers.
Okay. Thank you so much. So at this time, we will go ahead and close the public hearing. Commissioners, you've heard from the applicant. We've also had a chance to review the staff report. Do you have any questions or comments for the applicant or for staff? Commissioner Leverett, I recognize you.
Is someone currently in both sides of the home?
Yes, one that might be moving out, so it might be just easy to turn to a single-family house if that's the question. But right now there are 2 tenants, one that might be moving out. I don't know, that's a legal question of whether or not they're moving out or not.
I'm just saying that people have been living on both sides.
Yes, for the past 4 years, yes.
For 4 years.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Commissioner Leverett. Commissioner Dunn, do you have any questions? You can come back to the podium, sir. You're fine. I think there'll be a few more. Yeah, just stay. Commissioner Davis, do you have any questions? No. Okay. Commissioner Williams, do you have any questions?
Yes. Just one. Mm-hmm. What happens if you don't get the approval?
Well, then I would have to put it back to what it was when we first bought it, which was a single-family house. I mean, that means that we probably have to move out the tenants and redo the entire inside back to a single-family house and then re-rent it as a single-family. I would have to speak to probably people in the city to figure out how to do that. I don't know. I'm hoping not to do that. I'm hoping to keep it as is, the way it is right now, with your approval. That's what I'm trying to do here, is to rectify a situation that clearly I've caused and didn't recognize at the time.
Okay. I think this may be a question I have for staff, but in regards to this property here, this was already built out, or did you guys built this from the ground up, or was
No, we purchased it as it was a single family house when we bought it.
Yeah.
It was, it was not really livable at the time. It had to be redone. There was holes in the floor, the roof was gone, It was one of those houses that was completely,
like dilapidated?
yeah,
Okay.
basically. And and when we were doing it, the plan was to turn it to duplex, and that's why we originally why we paid a contractor to do the proper legwork.
Okay. So when you were going through this process, they gave you a certificate of occupancy?
Again, this is when I was starting out, so I didn't know. I don't know what my contractor did.
Mm-hmm.
I do have on my files
Mm-hmm.
things that they did, and I didn't know what I was doing, quite honestly. So I
Mm-hmm.
do apologize. I don't know. The contract. We paid the contractor quite a bit of money, and he said it's good to go.
Yeah.
Thank you, contractor. It's kind of the situation that I made my own hole, if you want to say that.
So staff, this project or this property, did they ever get a CO? Or
Yeah, my understanding is that the renovation of the property was not permitted. So it would have had a CO from when it was first built. But of course, when you come in and do renovations, then you have to go through the process to get a new CO, and I don't think that occurred.
Okay, thanks, Reggie. Okay, I yield. Commissioner Jefferson, do you have any comments?
Being that I guess it happened 4 years ago, is there a workaround? This is kind of rare, I guess. I've never heard this before.
Well,
What is the?
It happens more often than you think.
Really?
And usually these items come before our zoning board of appeals because people will build things that are, they're building a setback or something like that, and it doesn't. And then when we figure that out, they'll have to ask for a variance. The difference here is that because it's a duplex, and duplexes are only allowable in, I think, only in our R6 zoning district. Then in order to bring this property into conformity, they would actually have to do a rezoning. And so I don't believe there is a workaround. If we want to allow it to continue to operate as a duplex, we would have to rezone the property.
So no variance in this situation.
That's correct. No.
Okay. So would this be spot zoning? Basically? Because my question is that...
I'm not a lawyer, so...
Look, okay, Reggie. No, but seriously, because I guess my question, and I agree with you, Reggie, as far as people build stuff all the time and they come back and they get the knock on the door and they're like, oh, I gotta, we're hoping that he's doing this in good faith, right? That he's coming to the board and it was truly a mistake. But then we know there's people that don't make mistakes and they just do it. However, my question is I don't even know if it's a question. It may just be a statement, but I guess I just don't want us to set the precedence of us allowing this, because I'm sure there are some other properties that code enforcement is knocking on too, and then they come to the meeting and then they're like, well, it's already built. So just keep that in mind, when we're talking about this case tonight, because we don't want to set the precedence that that's going to be allowed. I don't want to make him go back and tear his piece of his property down, but at the same time, though, it's your responsibility. Even if you pay somebody, you still need to know, what's going on with your property, and if you have the correct permits and things of that nature, or rezonings and stuff. So yeah, Reggie, I don't have anything. I thought I had a question for you, but I just wanted to make that statement. So just keep that in mind when we're voting tonight on this application about other people that may have done the same thing, that may come to the board and say, well, you approved this one, but are you going to approve mine too? Okay? I yield. Commissioner Jefferson, I recognize you if you have any comments. Okay. Commissioner Thompson, do you have any comments?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Commissioner Washington, do you have any comments? Okay. So at this time, Commissioner Williams, I recognize you.
Okay, and this is for staff. Just because of the predicament that the applicant is in, and I'm looking at the zoning map now, and I see where his property is on AG1, and there's surrounding R4 as well as mixed use. Are there any other classifications that he could consider? Just throwing that question out there.
Not for duplexes. Duplexes are really only allowed in R6, and I think we would also allow them in in apartment zoning districts, but really for for one structure, there's going to be a duplex on one lot. The R6 zoning is I think the only one that allows that.
Commissioners? Okay, Commissioner Leverett, I recognize you.
Okay, what's the zoning for like a townhome? How would this be that different from a townhome?
Yeah, townhouses, we have a townhome zoning district, TR, and I think we do a minimum of three attached units for townhomes, so they are distinguished from duplexes in that manner, and of course, townhomes are usually going to be much larger developments.
Yeah, Commissioner Williams, I recognize you. Absolutely.
Okay, just one final question for the applicant. Once again, looking at the zoning map, and since you're talking about, having to do construction and different adjustments, I mean, could you make it a triplex? Could you make it 3 units so that it could quite possibly be a TR designation? So I don't know if that question really needs to be with staff or with you, but that's just my thinking.
I would say I would love to, but the future, there's a monetary issue over here. I don't have the money to do any more work, really, quite honestly. So that's why I'm just trying to get in compliance for now. Maybe in the future, if I find an investor or someone to help me out, that I would love to. It's a 2-acre property. It'd be very nice to make a little something over there. Right now, I can't say I'm going to do that.
What is this is the question for staff, as far as once code enforcement knocks on your door and they say you're not in compliance, what's the next step after that, Reggie? If they didn't get it, what's realistically, how does that process work?
They'll have a zoning violation on the property, which will be continuing, and they would have to go to court, and the judge would make a determination probably on fines or ordering them to bring the property into compliance.
Okay, got it. Okay. Commissioners, are there any other questions for the applicant or staff at this time? No, you can't. I'm sorry. I know it's a tough one. Do you guys need a minute? Okay. Okay. So it doesn't look like we need any more time. No one has said anything. So at this time, we will go ahead and take our first vote, which is going to be on staff's findings of fact. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve staff findings of fact.
I second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Jackie Barrett Washington. Trone Jefferson.
Aye.
Stacy Williams.
Aye.
Tamiko Leverett.
Aye.
Mike Dunn.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you so much. And now we will vote for approval, denial, or deferral of Z26-017. Is there a motion on the floor? Take your time.
I make a motion to deny. Z26-017.
Is there a second?
I'll second it. We in between a rock and a hard place, but yeah. I'll second.
Okay. There's some discussion on the floor. Commissioner Leverett, I recognize you.
So this still has to go in front of city council,
Absolutely.
and they can still allow it if they. Okay.
Absolutely. Because we're just a recommending body. So he still has an opportunity to have another public hearing
Okay.
next month. Okay? Okay. It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Jackie Barrett Washington.
You cannot abstain. I'm sorry. Unless there's a conflict of interest, you can't abstain. I know it's a tough one, but remember, Commissioner Washington, we're just a recommending body. Okay.
Trone Jefferson.
Aye.
Stacy Williams.
Nay.
Tamiko Leverett.
Nay.
Mike Dunn.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. Okay, so this will be heard at the September 8th City Council meeting for a public hearing. And then after that, it will be voted on at the council meeting after that. Hold on, Reggie, one second. Commissioner Leverett, did you have a question? No, they need to go through a training, I believe. Yep, so they're sworn in, but they still have one more thing I think they need to do. Yeah, no problem. Okay, Reggie. So now we are going to move on to U26-008. Staff, can you please sound the report?
Thank you. This is case U26-008, 6035 Bakers Ferry Road. The applicant is requesting a special use permit to operate a barbershop in the C1 zoning district. This is in Council District 1. The staff recommendation is denial. Our recommendation is based on the applicant not completing all of the requirements for their public participation.
Okay, thank you so much, Reggie. So at this time, we will open the public hearing. Is the applicant present? No applicant present? No. Okay. So per the attorney from last meeting, what's the attorney's name, Reggie, the gentleman?
Mr. Alexander.
Mr. Alexander. According to Mr. Alexander, we were not able to open a public hearing without the applicant being present. So actually, I need to rescind that because we can't do that. So we will need to do a deferral. Staff, would you like to request a deferral on behalf of the applicant, or would you like us to, it doesn't matter. I mean, I guess we'll have to do it either way, you know?
Yeah, we will request a deferral.
Okay. Okay. So at this time, thanks, Reggie. So at this time, for U26-008, we cannot open the public hearing because the applicant is not present. So we need to entertain a deferral. Is there a motion on the floor for approval of deferral for U26-008?
I motion to defer U26-008.
I second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Jackie Barrett Washington. Trone Jefferson.
Aye.
Stacy Williams.
Aye.
Tamiko Leverett.
Aye.
And Mike Dunn.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. So this deferral will be heard at the September 16, 2026 meeting. And we are at the end of our cases now, which is awesome. Thank you all for coming out tonight and joining us at the Planning Commission meeting. Our next Planning Commission meeting is on September 16, 2026 here at 6 p.m. At Waccamaw Park. I do want to say welcome to our two new commissioners, Commissioner Erica Jones-Thompson, as well as Commissioner Nicole Davis, representing District 3 for Erica Jones-Thompson, and Nicole Davis is representing District 4. And Ms. Thompson, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself very briefly for everyone watching us live.
I am Erica Jones-Thompson. I am born and raised in the city of South Fulton. I grew up on Waccamaw Terrace, right around the corner. So I have been here all of my life, and I feel like I have a duty and a commitment to my community to serve, and so that is why I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Ms. Davis, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Nicole Davis, a proud resident of the city of South Fulton. I've been living in the city of South Fulton for the past 10 years, and I am honored to have this opportunity to serve on the Planning Commission.
Thank you so much. Well, we welcome you, and we are excited to have you here. And we look forward to continue to do the work on behalf of the city and making sure these cases are heard properly and efficiently. And Commissioner Washington, I recognize you.
Thank you, ma'am. I just want to say thank you to you, because this is, I think, my 4th meeting, and I'm looking forward to the training session. So I want to thank you for your patience with me as I learned the process, and the yeses and the nos and the yays and the heres and whatnot. So I appreciate it, and I hope to continue to get better at the process. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm enjoying being on this board with you all. It's been great thus far. And so we're at the end of our meeting now. We're at our adjournment. Can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, looks like we have it. You all have a good night, and it is now 8:07, and we have adjourned this meeting.